We were like, what's a way we can kind of support our community?
Autism.
When an artist has a blank canvas and you just have no idea where to start, he's always, like, every single time, he's been there with me to push me to actually start these things and to bounce ideas off.
If someone goes to me and goes, hey, I know you've never done 3D modeling in your entire life. You don't even know the program. Do you want a 3D model this afternoon for something in a week? And I'll go, yeah, sure, I'll do that.
That is what MCEventures is. And we are just the ringleaders of it all.
Because we wanted it to have something that would make it stand out from other Minecraft events.
Without you, I think I would have lost my mind like a good year ago. But instead we can lose our minds together and then also get back on the rails and keep going.
Hi, my name is... Online is FrogEwan_. Most people call me FrogEwan, something of that variety, or just British. I'm a recent teaching graduate. I actually wrote my dissertation on Minecraft in education, and I got a first. You can say I like Minecraft a lot, and I'm one of the co-owners of MCEventures.
Hi, I'm Panda, or some people know me as Calum. I am a content creator who does variety content, but mainly Minecraft. I do a bunch of charity work, and I'm currently studying for my A-levels.
Coming across each other, I was on this SMP called Flash SMP back in 2021, right at the start of my content creation. Then Halloween, that same year I started content creating, they did a hide and seek Halloween event. Panda joined, and I heard a British voice and was like, oh my gosh, another British person. Oh my goodness, I've been in a sea of Americans, please. A singular British person. Panda then joined the server, the actual SMP, and we ended up being in the same faction for a period, and then from there, Panda started inviting me to escape rooms in Minecraft for videos. I did it. Okay. I was like, yeah, sure, I'm always happy to, like, as long as I'm available, I'm always happy to join in on stuff. And that ended up extending into charity events.
At that time, me and Frog were involved in so many things together. We were very good friends. We would play games off stream, which is rare for content creators, especially me and my group. We were hanging out like every night. I feel like our personalities mesh so well together. We both have like the same experiences and stuff. So like both being like trans, queer, we have a lot of experiences together.
We have health issues.
That too. I would mention ideas. I have a couple of ideas that will function in the event space, but I then have no motivation to actually go and do any of that because working on stuff on your own is horrible. So this is where Frog comes in, who he just always backed me up on everything. He would hear an idea and he would run with it and make sure that I actually went ahead with the ideas that I had and didn't just kind of turn back and be like, that's so much money. There's no way anybody would take part in any of this. I have no idea where to start. He's always there with like, well, let's just start, let's just give it a go. Even if it was just like with our recent event, we had a big period at the start where we would just jump around this like tester area with block palettes, thinking of ideas. We would just kind of lay out the area that we wanted to work in. And when we start on a new area of our map, because this event is very much separated into individual things, but I think we're going to go on to talk about the current event a bit later. Every time we start a new planet, there's always like gut instinct of, oh my god, it's like a blank slate. It's like when an artist has a blank canvas and you just have no idea where to start. He's always like every single time he's been there with me and we just enjoy working together. Every moment is so fun. It just makes it so much more enjoyable. I can't imagine doing it on my own.
Well, it's a very anticlimactic story because I feel like it just appeared. So back in summer 2022, I was putting together an event called Pride 48, which is basically a 48-hour-long Minecraft SMP. So we had a bunch of creators on that to kind of highlight LGBTQ creators in the smaller streaming base and raise money and have fun. And we had a bunch of incentives and stuff. So at the time, me and Frog were good friends, like too much overcooked for too many hours a night. So I was like, hey, you want to help me do some like 3D modeling for this Minecraft event that I'm running? He said yes, immediately, no hesitation.
I really like doing really random things. So if someone goes to me and goes, hey, I know you've never done 3D modeling in your entire life. You don't even know the program. Do you want to 3D model this afternoon for something in a week? And I'll go, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And then I'll go and do it. And I'll go teach myself whatever it is I need to do.
We did some very bad modeling. We had no clue what we were doing. We had a developer at the time, but then that all went completely south. Can I swear or not?
Whatever you want. This is for MCE. So.
Okay, yeah, fair. It all went to shit, pretty much. And at the time, I was in Originals SMP, and Originals SMP was run by Jake. And I knew he was a developer. I knew he did this kind of stuff. So I reached out. I was just like, help. The event's in a couple of days. We have nothing. Our developers kind of left. Can you please help us? And from there, the absolute god he is at development and management and stuff, sorted this out. It was still really scuffed, but it worked and it was good and we raised a bunch of money. From there, I just kind of went, well, I had an event going with my friend Georgie at the time who had just left content creation. So I was like, hey, do we want to pick this up and roll with it? Frog and Jake just went, yeah, let's go for it. And that's how Fight for IBD and the whole MC thing was created.
We wanted to kind of cross bridges between communities. Because obviously you get events held by smaller creators for smaller creators, and then you get like the really big ones that have all the really big creators. But we wanted to try and have an event where it's like you will actually see a range of both communities and like kind of platforms and audience sizes. I'd say another one of our goals is when raising money for charity, for doing different charities and charities that aren't necessarily done as frequently. Like we had AKT because that very thankfully have like the Trevor Project, but that's a US based one, whereas the AKT is a more UK based charity for like LGBT people. And then 55BD was Crohn's and Colitis UK, which again isn't necessarily a charity you're going to have loads of big fundraisers for in the same way as you would for say the Trevor Project or cancer research, which are obviously really important, but they are the ones that get the main spotlight when it comes to charity events, whereas we want to try and kind of go between other ones, like the one we're currently working on is for Alzheimer's research, and we've got a list that we're going to keep adding to of different charities for various different things, like things to do with like people's identities, health, medical, other ones like more kind of social injustices.
Why Minecraft?
You want to get up for this one?
Autism.
No,
That's not the only one.
That's not.
Minecraft's a very kind of malleable game. Like, you can do a lot with it. Like, you can have mods, you can have resource packs, it's a sandbox game. You can build sand castles and a bunch of other things. So it gives you a lot of opportunities to be very creative with what you're doing. It's why we've been able to have different kinds of events for each event, because it's not just one set thing. And also because it's an online game, it means that we can have a connection in like a wider space. Like, it's international. We can have anyone from any part of the globe. If they have Minecraft access to internet and can get on the server, they can be a part of it. And so it's a very kind of quote unquote easy way to bring a connection from like all different people across the globe into one space where you can all work together towards one common goal, which is always a really cool idea, especially in this day and age when, as connected as we are, like there's a lot of separation going on, and to be able to bring people together is a really nice thing.
Fight Forever with You was an event around like a Jurassic theme with dinosaurs, and it was raising money for Criticalitis UK, and it was
60 creators, and they basically pulled it out in this big survival games map. Going with the survival games mixed together to create kind of a slightly more unique style event, but still something quite easy for our first event. And it was all going towards a charity that I'm like very closely linked to because I have friends myself. And I just wanted to make something that would help out people who are suffering with the same thing as me, and also, bring those creators together and make something epic.
It was literally just someone on our team as a joke was like, we should have dinosaurs. It was literally like, we want to have a theme, and they were like, dinosaurs. And then for some reason we actually went, what if it was dinosaurs? Because we wanted it to have something that would make it stand out from other Minecraft events that you tend to have. We raised £670 for it within the event, which was very cool.
It was a massive learning experience for us. We learned so much about how all the behind the scenes things work. Like, Jake taught us so much, and without that, I feel like the event would have gone so differently, and now we can be more independent in running the events ourselves, doing more of the management ourselves, and honestly, it was just seeing how many people cared. Like, we didn't expect it to have the reach it had, and then we sent out that announcement tweet, and the interactions broke my phone. So, like, the amount of people that genuinely do care about these things, like, I will say this to all the small creators out there: if you want to make something, just make it. You never know how people will react until you do it. It was absolutely insane. And I think the message is that I've definitely taken from that event is just go for it and expect the unexpected. Be prepared for the unexpected, even though you can't prepare for it.
I think the main other thing is like, it kind of started helping us branch out into communities we maybe hadn't branched out into or been able to branch into previously, which was also a really cool outcome from that. But yeah.
Just in general, take tips from other people, get engaged with people who do the same thing. For the future, just go for it. Don't be scared. Don't let anything hold us back. So listen to Jake. He was very much pushing us in the right direction, and sometimes we were a bit resistant to that change in our like whole workflow. I feel bad for some of the times I was just kind of like, I want to go that far and like actually make this professional, but it was 100% the right call. Our next event is called Space Race, which was a dramatic build-up for us, but for you guys, you probably already know all of this. Basically, the event is taking the creators on a journey through 6 planets, special a little extra. So each planet has its own minigame. They are taken through this kind of story, and they are racing to get to the other end. Hopefully, from what we've already shared, people will get the kind of theming and how the connections between all of the planets are like these portals, corrupted portals to other worlds. And I think that very much like creates the story that we are going for. All the maps are themed around this kind of like old but also futuristic. We've gone into the future, things have happened, but then we've gone into the future again, and all of those things from this thing we call futuristic is now in the past and old and decrepit and overtaken by these alien species. And that's kind of our themes for the event. I spoke to say it earlier, but the event is to raise money for Alzheimer's research. Yeah, it's a very good charity. I haven't really seen many people raise money for it, so we thought, why not do that? I'm very excited for how this event will come out. It will have 50 creators in it, which is a little less than our last one, but a bit more manageable for an event of this size and this complexity.
When we actually started brainstorming for this, I think I'd messaged Panda, because this would have been April time. I was working on my dissertation. Panda was preparing or starting GCSEs. And I basically was like, hey, do you want to like just play some Overcooked? Because we're kind of stressed and busy, but like maybe we can start like brainstorming a few ideas for the next event because we've now finished. We get in, we end up spending like hours on Overcooked. And we basically kind of come up with the entire concept for it of like the space thing. Like I think it was first we wanted to think of what the event was going to be. I think it was what kind of event it was going to be, and then the theme.
Brock was the person who originated the idea for this event. The very basic kind of like the name and kind of what that means in context. When that was created, we have a whole list of event ideas, some given to us by friends, some of our own, and that was just kind of added on the bottom. But then we did like, because in Notion you can drag the things up and down, we did like a ranking system, and that one just instantly shot up. It was like, this is what we want to do.
And then I think once we kind of come up with the concept that we wanted to do, of because I think the original concept was like a race across the world, and originally it was going to be one big planet that they have to race across, but then somewhere along the line we came up with the idea of what if it was separate planets and each planet has its own kind of challenge that challenges different aspects of Minecraft itself. So it's not just a PvP, it's not just running, it's not just parkour, it's not just redstone, it's like it's different people will find their strengths in different parts of it. And then once we kind of got that together, we then went to Jake to be like, hey Jake, we think we might have the next idea. What do you think?
Like the one and only admin only meeting of this event so far. There was just a big kind of rambling about stuff, but then Jake just went, can you put this all on like a Notion page, all nicely worded and laid out? We were just like, okay. And we spent hours doing that,
making up a game design. But yeah, like once we put forward the idea, Jake was like, oh, that actually sounds really cool and unique, like I like that idea a lot, let's do it. We were just that like, just
yeah. But it was literally straight after the last event. So the last event was like April, yeah, what's in the April.
So
company numbers there.
Currently in 2 days it will have been 8 months. Like
it's a long process, and we are hoping to cut down on that for in the future, now that we have a bigger team and stuff. So like, although we started on the 14th of April, like actually starting to work on stuff, build and stuff was more like July. Between then and now, there's also just completely just stop production. Things just happen. But yeah, it's a long process. We could have put out months of building work had we known that the sphere tool existed. And now we've built like full mountain range maps. Like the current map we're working on is like massive, like a volcano landscape. And all of it's mountainous, and there's so much going on.
The other day, I was actually writing down how long each map thus far has taken us. The hub took 2 weeks. The parkour took 5 weeks. The alien one took 2 months. The longest one took 2 months. The next one after that took about a month. Bingo took 10 days. And PvP has just about overtaken it, where today is the 12th day. So that one's coming up to 2 weeks now.
I feel like during Bingo, we also just all had a bunch of free time, and we would all spend hours. Like we have a build team with I want to say 6, 7. And people's timetables being all over the place and just never being able to work on stuff. There's definitely been points where we just none of us have been able to work.
That's probably the main challenge we've had specifically with this event. Like, last event, it was how small the team was because we were getting help from people, but in comparison to the help we've had on this one, it was very minimal. I would say anything that wasn't development side and social media, it was probably a good 85 to 90% me and Panda that worked on it. We will acknowledge we did have help from other people. It just happened to be
out and busy and stuff.
Yeah, like.
But I feel like we have, I guess, a lot more of our friends as well, and we've become good friends with quite a lot of the build team. So like we pride communication, and even if it's just like, this is what I'm doing this weekend, like be able to talk to people, get to know people, and become friends with people who we are working with. That also brings people more online. Communication is a big challenge, especially when people are so busy, like everybody is. We want to work on a small event between this and the next big event. I didn't see something like that. Almost like a filler event whilst we're working on the next one as well. We want to try and get our events more regularly moving. We don't actually know what our next big event is. I'm sure there'll be a conversation that comes up within the next month before this video is actually released. We just want to continue doing what we're doing, continue growing, expanding, getting more people involved, increasing our team, increasing our production, getting more creators in. Currently, yes, our events are very English speaking, and we want to be able to think of how we can go and make this something that can be accessed worldwide. I mean, it can, but it still has challenges, and we know it's not up to the standard that it could be. I think that will definitely come with all the things with like QSMP and the live translation and stuff. We don't use like in-game voice chat, but to be able to translate our information and what we are saying is hosts at this like start and the end and things like that. It would be really nice to be able to have those communities from different areas, because we focus a lot on diversity, obviously, with like LGBTQ identities, people of different nationalities, but to be able for people to be able to speak their native languages at our events and be able to represent them from and like people from all over the globe of all different backgrounds, of all different kind of beliefs, identities, that would be incredible. So I feel like that's definitely something for us to work on over the next year, because it's an area that I don't think is very well covered in the micro events community. But it's getting there with like SMPs and things. So I feel like we can definitely use some of the ideas that they're coming up with in a way that makes our events more accessible. But yeah, if you'd like to know more about stuff, our DMs are open. Link in description. So all the things about MC, hopefully, preferably the MCEventures DMs, because it's easier to respond to from our. If you want to get involved, if you're a creator looking at this, like, how can I get involved? It's there. All of the information's there, including like our own like all site link, which definitely does not just take you to the Spotify page for the event. We appreciate everybody's support, and we want you to know that we are going to continue hopefully do things bigger, better, and improve. And please out the community's feedback. Always give us feedback. We will always be looking at it, responding to it, and using it. That's a learning curve. Hi, this is an update on the 19th of March. Space Race was the second, no, not the second, it was the 3rd of March.
We were at £1,098.
But the donation page is still up and running.
Alright.
Go.
Go for me. Okay, Heads big. Heads big will do like
Later on, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, make it big head.
Overwhelmed in the best physical way. I mean, it was also very stressful, don't get me wrong. Running these things like behind the scenes is a lot of like panicking about if something is going to go wrong, whilst also trying to like enjoy and see the creators enjoying the event. Everybody's excitement is great from both the creators and just like fans in general.
The event had a few hiccups. I'm glad it went as well as it did.
It's just like getting to know the team and working with everybody, seeing people get like involved in the magic of the behind the scenes work. It was so sweet.
but Red is still a pretty stat team.
Is
Lime
that
have made it. Lime might actually get there before Red. They built the entire path and they just waited. Oh, that's fine. Oh my god, the amount of mobs.
We are taking a little bit of a break. Like the week leading up to the event, we spent every single day till very late. We have like got some confirmation on some things, but I can't really talk about what's gonna come in the future. But big things are happening. There's been a lot that's happened since the event. MC, as you know it, will probably be changing quite a lot. It's still going to be run by me and Fro, but there is just a lot of other things going on currently.
I don't want this to end. Not soon. Like I want it to reach its full potential, however that comes, whatever that is.
I'd recommend keeping an eye on Twitter.
Subscribe to Lucas.
Yeah.